Welcome back. This video is about, we are working on cron tab. The video is the orange attack path on LogonScripts. And this is video 2. And we just finished talking about the user specific cron tab. Also in the file system under Etsy, you will find folders of cron daily, cron hourly, cron monthly, or cron weekly. Inside these folders, you can place scripts that will respectively run at the times provided. You'll notice going back to the system-wide cron tab at Etsy cron tab, you'll find the schedule of when cron daily, cron hourly, cron monthly, and cron weekly will execute. So make sure you clean up these folders and maintain them for integrity, because oftentimes files will get put in there for persistence or to maintain access. So switching gears just a little bit, we want to talk about boot or logon initialization scripts. So both in Windows and Linux, when you log into a profile, like on Windows, you'll have registry keys that execute automatically, or you'll have a startup folder where scripts, if they're placed in that startup folder, will automatically execute. Similar thing with Linux. And when you log into Linux, you will have like a bash RC file that you can modify. And this bash RC file is executed if the connection is established remotely or an additional interactive shell is opened. So the bash RC file does a great job at building your bash environment, the coloring you want to see, and different things. Well, if a miscreant can add malicious code into the bash RC file, when you, as the administrator on the Linux system, logs into like the Vagrant account, it will execute the bash RC file that's stored inside of the Vagrant account. So one of the takeaways of this orange attack path LogonScripts is to build a bash RC SSH backdoor. So go ahead and log into the Vagrant user, locate the bash RC file, and we're going to add some scripting that adds your SSH key to the web server under the Vagrant account. And let's go ahead and pull up that blogspot. So if you go to the PC Nerds blogspot and you pull up the post for T1546 Unix shell configuration modification, excuse me, I've given some bash commands that can be executed and placed in that bash RC file. So what this script does is it reads the lines in the SSH authorized keys file. So let's talk about the authorized keys file. So on this web server, the authorized keys file probably is empty, but it may have an authorized keys file for the web administrator or the person taking care of the website. They can log in with or without a password as long as they have that key. So it's a more secure method to authenticate using SSH unless the key is compromised. Well, a goal of your red team or a miscreant is to get their SSH key into that file. And if the administrator removes that SSH key from the authorized keys file, you want a persistent method to add your SSH key back to the file. And that's what this script does. So it evaluates the authorized keys file line at a time. See, it's reading L or reading the line. It takes that line and does a checksum on the line. And then it takes the checksum, and your SSH key has a checksum. And if your SSH key, if the checksum matches a line in the SSH authorized keys file, that means that your SSH key still exists. However, if it doesn't exist, if exists equals false, then it will echo your SSH key file into and append to the authorized keys. So this is a way to maintain persistence by placing this code in the bashrc file. And then, if the admin does remove your SSH key, as I said, these bash commands in bashrc will re-add it. So a little sneaky approach for the miscreants. And then after you add the key, verify that it works. So remove your SSH key, disconnect from the Vagrant user, log back in remotely to the Vagrant account through SSH, and make sure you use the password, and then you can see that the SSH key is set up. So I'm not going to give you all the information on how to build the checksum for your SSH key, or how you need to change that script. I need you to work on figuring that out yourself and modifying that script appropriately. So that's all for this video, and we'll continue from here in the next video.